Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 here today on the channel. We're going to be starting episode 5 of my United Democratic States campaign on the Man the Guns DLC and Road to 56 mod. Here today we will have war with the Soviet Union and the Comintern. The Cold War is going to be heating up. So guys, if you like the sound of that, support the video. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you're new with notifications on. Let me know in the comment section down below feedback and suggestions for the series thus far, and where you would like me to expand and conquer. It's currently the 21st of August, 1942. In the last episode, we eliminated fascism from the Mediterranean, taking the Italian peninsula, breaking up Yugoslavia and the Balkans. And also, off camera, we managed to finish off Spain and liberate Finland. So here today, this is what we currently control. This is how the world is shaping up in the Commonwealth of Nations. We've got the likes of Peru, Mexico, Canada, free and independent kingdoms in Scotland and Ireland. Obviously, we've got like Croatia here, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Switzerland, Austria. We also have a free and independent Latvia. Even though Finland is now on our side, they are a democratic republic. A lot of it did actually go to the Soviet Union. So at the moment, we more than likely will be going to war with the Soviets very soon, as they are currently justifying on one of our NATO-like allies, even though we're technically called the Commonwealth of Nations. As you can see, we stretch all the way to the Southeast Pacific, in Australia, and in the Middle East as well. The Kingdom of Jordan's now a thing here as well, along with Israel, which is fantastic. So we currently have just shy of under 200 active divisions in Europe, and we have 2,836 battalions. The United States controls the core territories here in Germany, Italy, and England, but we've managed to give regional autonomy to the likes of Ireland and Scotland and whatnot. Looking at the factions at the moment, France are in their own communist alliance. They look like they're going to be siding with the Comintern and sort of aiding them, depending on how things sort of shape up. But you never know, Stalin might not go through with this. Also, something weird like the Dutch are also justifying against us, which makes no sense whatsoever, even though they're a part of my faction. Maybe it has something to do with the South Pacific, I'm not entirely sure. So, the only other factions we have here is the Great East Asian Cooperation Sphere in Japan, where they've managed to puppet and subjugate most of China. We still have a war deck against them for what they did against the USS Panay. Also, the last of the Axis forces are currently hanging out here in what is this? The Dominican Republic. Yes, so we have a peace with them for now, but they are the last of Hitler's Axis empire. So we currently are 637 days away from getting nuclear bombs, and we're currently constructing nuclear power plants in Pennsylvania firstly, Michigan, and then New York. Okay, what else can we sort of go through here? I'm currently saving up my political power so I can switch to a better quality conscription. We currently have Senate and House support for now. Diplomacy-wise, trade, construction, production. We currently have 378 factories. We do need to repair some as well. So let's skip a little bit ahead and see if Stalin decides to declare war upon us. Well, technically, they are justifying against the Republic of Latvia, who we need to protect. So, I've divided my armies up here on a couple of fronts, and I've drawn some battle plans just in case. So, currently, Greece is under the control of a communist non-aligned government. Oh, okay, so they're non-aligned, but they're still under the control of the Comintern. Obviously, we need to hold the line here in Hungary, what's left of Poland, the Polish Republic, of course, which is really pushed up. Oh, and they've declared war. USSR Economic Cooperation has been bypassed. The Soviet Union has declared war upon the Republic of Latvia. And like I said, the Cold War now has really hottened up. It's a full-blown war now. So, the Soviet-American War. We're going to have to call in every single one of my countries to come in and help. So, the Soviet Union has Mongolia, Iran, and Greece with them. So, I'm hoping some of the Australians, maybe even some of, like, Qatar, so what are these guys? Right, so these guys are like the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi. So, maybe they can sort of invade Iran where we can. So first up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call every single nation we have, and hopefully they answer the call. Austria, Lithuania, Serbia, Switzerland, Albania, Bulgaria, Luxembourg are coming. African kingdoms are coming as well, and we should numerically have the manpower numbers on them. But man, it's starting to lag the game so much, calling everyone here along with Spain and Finland. So let's quickly spam through this. Gonna get a cramp in my finger in a second. Okay. South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and the Netherlands still haven't come just yet. Okay, so we've got a couple of options here. So, the Netherlands and Soviet Union. So, yeah, it's all going to be lumped in together. Okay, I haven't got all of my divisions ready just yet, but settings they've preemptively hit me, I think we should just go against them full on and just really sort of go for it and try and push them back. I have my air wings currently operating over Belarus, Ukraine, and the northern... What is that? The northern front there, okay. So get my guys operating over the top. My navy is currently stationed in Rostock and Hamburg as well. So we should be able to get them to be operating here as well. If we can get control here of the Baltic, it will make things a lot easier for us. So that's on search and destroy there. And you should be doing the same thing in and around here as well. Okay, sweet. Well, without further ado, let's sort of kick things off. So more countries are being called in here now, and it doesn't look like the Soviet Union has called in the Greeks just yet. I wonder why they haven't gone and done that. Mongolia, Iran, and Greece haven't joined the war. So overall, we currently have 5.5 million manpower to their 3.5. So we've still got some air wings absent, only 2, so it's not even that much of an issue. Okay, so we've got some unfulfilled Okay, so Belgium, Brazil, French Commune, and yeah, they're starting to put a bit of a trade embargo on us. Okay, so we're still actually quite good at the moment. I'd be surprised if the French don't support the communists. They could very well be sending volunteers now, or maybe justifying against us. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the French. They've sort of made their own faction, so they're very much isolated. So let's zoom things out here and see how well we're doing. So we're starting progress already up in the north in Finland, and also on the Latvian-Lithuanian border. Down here in Hungary, we're making some small progression as well, and something's kicked off here. Iran has joined the war along with Mongolia. We're doing quite well in the south here against them. We're struggling to push right in the center. So we're currently fighting in the south here of what would be Romania. Finland wants to send me a lend-lease along with Spain. I'm more than happy to accept. We've had some conflicts as well here. 4 submarine... so 16 submarines have sunken 4... American convoys. That's alright for now. Still improving our engineering, recon, maintenance, and field hospital. And we've currently completed our air doctrine. We might as well just finish off our carrier support now. Okay, so looks like Greece is still defying us for now. Oh, there's been another stutter here. And Greece has been called in. And we'll be able to push further south. So the Soviet units fighting on the border here. Our American flyboys are pushing further south. Okay, up here now in Bucharest, Netherlands forces, Hungarian, Austrian, and Mexican are starting to push up. We're currently fighting here with medium tanks, mostly infantry. Up in Finland, it does look like this must be Peruvian. Yes, Peruvian forces are coming up here as well. And we want to try and push for Leningrad as well. So up in the north, I want to try and take the territory here of Ark. Then we want to try and push past Moscow. We want to try and hit Leningrad. And then we'll push further south into the Crimea, into the Caucasus territories as well. Okay, let's keep everything rolling. So it's the 1st of September 1940. So we're not doing as well as I would have liked in Greece. Further here in Hungary, we're doing quite well. It's sort of a little bit back and forth. Finland, we've got massively under our control here, which is absolutely fantastic. We'll continue to call states where we can, and we do need to continue to lobby and continue on with our effort here. So at the moment we currently have supremacy here, air supremacy on the eastern front into the eastern bloc. So we're not doing too well here. We've actually managed to... oh, hang on a minute. We've managed to divide and conquer some forces here now. So how is the war sort of progressing casualties-wise at the moment? Okay, so it's currently 3% in favour of the defenders. So there have been just under 300,000 Soviet Union lives lost. And I would imagine the Americans are doing the most of the fighting and the dying. Yeah, 220. Okay, so I've saved up my political power so I can go with a higher conscription. Now, we've got a couple of options here. We're currently on limited, which is only 2.5. I'm tempted to go by service by requirement. Factory output, dockyards, I don't really care about, nor training. The only thing I have is a 10% construction is quite a lot, especially when we've got nukes on the way. But we are so far ahead of every other major nuclear sort of powered country. I think would be alright even with that minor debuff, because it's only another 5%. We're really going to need like 10% for the upcoming wars against like Japan, France, and the Comintern. So we're going to go by service by requirement, and then eventually we should be able to massively upgrade our, of course, recruitable manpower. So we're currently slowly but surely pushing back in Finland, which is good. We're making small progressions here as well. Oh, we've actually managed to cut off a massive chunk of Greece here, which is fantastic. So to win this war, we only need to capitulate the Soviet Union. If they were to capitulate us, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Switzerland, and Spain would have to go down with them. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, already it does look like naval invasions are going on here in Iran. It looks like the Dutch and potentially at some point, yep, the Australians are going to be coming in along with the Republic of Sri Lanka, Ceylon, further in the south here as well. So, oh, Japan's justifying against us now. No way. Opening up another war in the Pacific might be a really bad idea for them. Okay, so we're about to surround and kill a lot of Soviet forces here in the south. We're making minimal gains here in Romania, but we actually are making decent towards Moscow. Okay, we're actually trying to push and take the city of Leningrad. Alright, let's push here. And we might just try and push for Leningrad. If we could take that off them, we will be able to liberate St. Petersburg. That's fantastic. We've just taken Leningrad, which is massive. They just sort of hit us when they really shouldn't have. Like, I was putting my men on the border as war is inevitable, and they were sort of justifying against me. I don't know why they made the decision to do so. It's just a bit crazy. Alright, we need to go down something else here. Maybe getting better quality artillery. That soft attack is always a really good evaluation. And let's go with more fuel as well, even though we're not actually using overly too much. Okay, air support, we're still smashing them over the top. We haven't got any sort of other incursions anywhere else. But we're about to absolutely surround and smash this pocket here. Are they still getting supplies? That's what I'm sort of curious about, because I wanted to sort of push it a bit. No, they don't. Okay. Because technically this supply is running through there into Alexandropolis, I guess. Okay, we're pushing into Thessalonica here now. There seems to be a bit of a pushback here in Bulgaria, and also in the center as well. Okay, we're doing well in the north. This is probably where we're going to get them, but things are starting to slow down a bit. We just need more and more allies here where we can, so we really need to focus on the Soviet Union. It's nearly getting into the millions now. Nearly both sides have lost 1 million. Oh, we've got some news here. The Republic of Bulgaria has capitulated. Oh, no. Oh, you're kidding me. That's catastrophic, that is. I really don't know how we're going to get out from this one. So we need to get these guys down and out. Oh, that's massive. Okay, so really we need to get everyone that's been surrounded here. Oh, that's really changed up the borders. Okay, so who's currently operating down here? This team and this team. Oh, the Dutch? What? Athens has fallen to the Dutch. Those sneaky buggers. Iran still hasn't been invaded just yet. Okay, yeah, it's just because it's a bit of a pain as well to see, like, how many sort of crazy front lines are going on here. Like, which one's actually mine? Like, that's mine. We'll just need to re-sort this out where we can. Okay, so we've lost a couple of divisions by being surrounded here. We'll just try and make a front line where we can. And if we can capitulate Greece, the better. And we'll try and fall everyone back here to a bit more of a better front line where we can, and just sort of see how we go. But surely now with Athens falling, Greece is only a matter of time going to be capitulated. Then, yeah, we just need to move out of that position, like get everyone like out of there, or otherwise it's going to be a massive problem for us. Like, you can push that way if you want, but really you just need to be getting back to those positions. Oh, that sucks that they've done that, and they capitulated a lot of territory as well. Okay, up in the north things are starting to slow down, but overall we're still taking a lot of crucial air bases. We've actually lost supremacy there now, which isn't good. Okay, so we can try and redirect some of our fighters where we can. That would be more beneficial for us. Okay, so at the moment, the Soviets are still very far away from capitulating. Greece is going to be the next one for us. Okay, we're still trying to get out our boys from Bulgaria. Try and retreat and pull them out where we can. Okay. Right, so you've still got your group plans to push south. And we'll try and redirect you so other Balkan countries don't capitulate. Still trying to get the remaining boys out of Bulgaria, and it does look like we're still seeming to do so. The thing is, like, once we can sort of tie up them in Greece, we'll be fine. Okay. So just looking at the numbers, yeah, I don't know if we actually have them. Okay, so we have 584 divisions in total in our alliance, and the Soviet Union has somewhere between about a minimum of 300,000. So they do actually numerically have the numbers on us for now. But we have democracy. That's got to count for something, I guess. So we're really pushing in the north here in Leningrad, and a couple of pockets here. It's a little back and forth a bit. Okay, if we can just sort of take Greece. Looks like the Dutch are doing most of the work, though. Thessalonica might fall here now with a massive Austrian and Dutch incursion. Thessalonica has now fallen. Our manpower dipped a fair bit there. And you'd imagine Greece now is on the precipice of defeat. Maybe Larissa needs to be taken as well. They are so close to capitulating here now. And the communists have lost 1 million lives. Yeah, so what are the French doing? I can't afford a sneaky attack in the rear. They're guaranteeing the independence of Poland. Now that's interesting because the Soviets were sort of going after them a bit. Okay, a lot of the front line's been redirected here now. Right, we still need to continue to lobby where we can. Man, oh man, this is incredibly messy down here in Greece. And it looks like Athens could re-fall again. Bulgarian exile forces have arrived in Maryland to fight on our side. Do we gain control of them? We do too. Oh, that's cool. Alright, still fighting along the border here now. Yeah, it's still very much back and forth. Hey, Greece has capitulated. There we go. Oh, we've got them here now. Crikey, I knew it was just so close. Right, let's quickly run in and surround all these guys up. Finish them off quickly. And then we'll have to this is just so messy here. The Australians are now down involved in the south. Come on, let's wrap this up. Alright, we're doing well here. Oh, we're super pushing here. Fan-bloody-tastic. 22nd of November, 1940. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to... just rejig a lot of this. Okay, there we go. Because what I want to kind of avoid as well is when we need to reallocate these forces, I can't afford to lose the ground we already have here. Yes, I want to sort of push in and surround up and get as many of them as possible, but you also can't avoid this. So make sure everyone hits the front line, but try and quickly gobble up these guys where you can. Okay, we should have more reinforcements on the way anyway to this war. So looking at the casualties here now, what are we working with? So the Soviet Union's lost 1.3, Greece is now capitulated with 40, Iran has only lost 36. We've lost nearly 1 million Allied forces on the Western Front campaign. We've lost 822. No one else is really committing by the look of it. Finland's doing well, El Salvador and Peru, South Africa, the Netherlands, Dutch East Indies. Man, I really would like a lot more of our Commonwealth of Nations factions to really step up. Oh no! Are we at war with Japan? I think we are. I think we're at war with Japan. Oh, they are too. Japan has declared war upon the Philippines. Oh, I do have 15 units here currently all around the Pacific here. I've just left them here to actually defend my territory, but Japan, those bastards. We're going to have to call everyone in. Still loading in now, it's been a couple of seconds, but wow, Japan has declared war upon us with a preemptive strike against the Philippines. Hirohito, you dodgy bugger. Okay, so we need to reassess this front here now, and it's slightly been merged. It won't merge the whole war, but we need to capitulate Japan. Oh, this is such a pain. Okay, so we need to firstly sort of reevaluate this situation. I don't think there's any imminent danger on the west. At the moment, we do have divisions that we could drop early. A lot of armored tanks and lights as well. We could move them to the western front. Overall, we don't have that many regions on the mainland of China. It only would be British Malaya borders it. Okay, so we do need to get forces here as quickly as possible. So the Japanese more than likely will storm over from Thailand by the look of it if they get called in. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to drop all these forces here, these fresh boys. Instantly, even though they're not quite ready, we need them over to fight against the Japanese. So I guess that Bulgaria force that was here is going to get an early request to be sent over. So we'll try and get our guys over to the west. What's the quickest way? LA or maybe like San Diego? San Diego might be quicker. So let's move those 33 here now then. I guess we'll just keep the Philippines there. We might have to send our guys to Australia first before we push to British Malaya, so it's safer. But we'll just have to see. But this is going to call in more people as well. So maybe the Allied forces in the south might sort of work more against the Japanese, but they could very well send forces to defend the Soviet Union. They could very well. So who's actually in the south here? The Dutch East Indies, the Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, and Sri Lanka. So they should be able to do something here. So overall, low base supply in the south, and we've lost supremacy, air supremacy in Myanmar. Alright. Malaya, rather. Alright, we need to quickly surround these guys up. Alright, we're going to be able to get them. We might be able to finish the Soviet Union before we have to really focus on Japan. Okay, we're currently 538 away from getting our nukes. Oh wow, we're massively losing house support here now just because of the multitude of wars that are going on. That's quite crazy, actually. We need to get that back on track where we can. Okay, already Mongolian forces are actually trying to rally up here. Oh, there's some French. Those bastards. Now, with Bulgaria now an exiled government, we actually gain access to their infantry template. Now, this is quite beefy. A lot of artillery here. I'm not going to use something like this because if you get it surrounded, you're actually quite buggered. If you are to lose it. So, oh, okay, wow. They are really storming down here now. There's some small Philippine and Australian forces holding on to Singapore, the Gibraltar of the east, but that's not too good. Right, my forces still haven't made it over to the west coast just yet. Probably could get these guys here though. Florida's just one of the first places they get attacked in the US if you do get navally invaded. Right, 750k, my manpower is still a little bit crazy. So 5% in favour of the defenders. Alright, we need to sort of try and wrap up this war as quick as we can. We're having small victories in the south. With the loss of Bulgaria, it's making to take Romania more difficult. We are making small increments. But it's really like our air force is really back and forth as well. We are pushing slowly but surely. We're making some nice progress here as well. Oh, here we go. We might be able to surround things up a lot better here now as well. Alright, try and go for something like that. Right, I'm going to try and go with Hemisphere Defense, which allows a lot of the South American factions to join the Commonwealth of Nations, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, and 6 others. So that should be able to bring most of these guys here in that are neutral. Okay, so most of these, you're right, so we're losing air supremacy where we can. Okay, so it does look like there are a couple of ambitious plans from the Philippines to retake China. So, not good whatsoever. We've lost control of British Malaya and a massive amount of resources here. The Australians are currently defending Indonesia and whatnot, but we're going to have to really just wait for our forces to get over to the west coast to move along. Okay, so we've lost 1.4. The Soviets lost 2 million here now. Have our casualties hit 1 million? Yep, we've lost 1 million men in this war against the Soviet Union. They just declared war upon Latvia. Those buggers. Why did they have to do it? And now we're at war with the Japanese as well. Okay, we've taken Novgorod here, a massive cultural significant place for the Russians, and it should be a massive morale debuff for them, you'd think. Okay guys, we're still slowly but surely dealing with the Soviets until I received this transmission. Catholic Mexico joined Japan. So, I don't know what's happened here in Mexico. No way. So, Catholic Mexico, who are fascist, have broken away from the Communist Party we were aligned with. Oh, come off it. Okay, that's not too much of an issue we can deal with, as we are quite literally getting more forces to enter the Eastern Theater, so we really could probably just go quickly wrap up this Japanese army, this Japanese supported army really quickly actually, and, okay, so we're probably going to be able to test our guys here in Mexico before they end up going along, but it has delayed the Eastern Theater front. Canada, what? We got a call to arms request. Oh, that was this fight. Right, okay. Yeah, I was wondering why we weren't in it just yet. So we should be able to quickly deal with them quite easily. It shouldn't be much of an issue. Whoa, Soviet-Dutch war. Okay, it's just so laggy whenever you want to sort of call people in. Okay, looking at this view might be a little bit easier to sort of comprehend what's sort of going on in the world. So we need to go deal with Mexico here now in the south. We're slowly but surely pushing over here in the east. Yeah, we've nearly got them in Finland. China's still a thing. Oh! Oh no, the Japanese are actually invading Papua New Guinea. Shit. Oh, if the Mexicans didn't have their civil war, we might be able to stop the invasion of Australia, but the imperialist Japanese army are doing quite well. Belgium, Sweden, Norway, the Icelandic, Nordic countries don't look like they're going to be coming in helping us out anytime soon. I wasn't expecting to have 3 wars in today's video, which is a bit mental. Alright, if we sort of take this sort of northern part of the country, we should be alright. But it's actually not a bad idea actually getting some early training, blooding our troops down in Mexico before they inevitably end up in Japan. Okay, I've actually had to garrison Greece because it's actually kind of hard and a bit of a tricky place to control just because of the amount of naval invasions. We've got some naval combat further down in the south here now. Yeah, but the Japanese are starting to expand already. Alright, we've wrapped up this bit here now. Okay, if we can get this last little noggin here, we should be able to push further south. What's this? Belize has capitulated. Is that down here in the south? Ah, no, it's there. Oh, okay. Okay, we've nearly finished up this civil war here in Mexico, you'd think. Taking the northern part of the country firstly. Okay, the fall of the Soviet Union I feel like is still inevitable. Okay, we're still dealing with Mexico. Oh! That's gonna... Yeah, good. Okay, Cuba now joins the Commonwealth of Nations. Uruguay, Panama, Honduras, Ecuador, Costa Rica, Colombia, Chile. Together we shall defend democracy. So it looks like my invitations in the south have been accepted. Excellent stuff. So they're going to be able to swing up and give more support if need be. Good. We're bringing South America into the fold. Okay. We just need to continue to push further south against these guys. Oh, here we go. Naval invasion. Where? Okay, in my territory in the South Pacific. It frightened me somewhat seeing that, but we're all good for now. Oh, Catholic Mexico's capitulated now. Perfect. There's a small amount of Japanese forces that managed to make their way over here, but to no avail. Let's get this house support back up on track. Yeah, so now there's no territory that the Great East Asian Cooperation Sphere own here, but they've done quite well against the Dutch East Indies here. The closer they get to Australia, it concerns me. Alright, so try and pick the closest port you can. There's probably one here in Mexico now that we've had to quickly move further south, get you there. And we've nearly got another lot of units that probably can be dropped and brought over where they can as well. Okay, we're still slowly but surely wrapping up things here. Oh, here we go. Japan declared war upon the French Commune. That's going to spice things up here. Because they're not going to have forces there in Thailand, in, what's this, Laos and Vietnam. This is what this is. Oh, yeah, we've got naval invasions and low base supply pinging off here now. Alright, that should change things up here in the southeast. Right, yeah. We might be able to get some military access there where we can. Okay, so my forces have nearly reached New Zealand down now. I've decided... Oh, there's been a little bit of a result there. We're all good. We've still got our guys, though, with the help of the Kiwi Navy. Alright, so we've landed further in the south in Wellington, just to be a little bit safe and precautious. They're taking that... Oh, the Philippines themselves have been invaded here. I just hate fighting in this island chain in the south. I would like to avoid it if I can. Can I somehow get No, they don't. I'm actually going to sign a non-aggression pact with them, actually, if they'd accept that, because last thing I want is them to declare war upon me in the back. I'd love docking rights and military access, the way we could get back up that way, but I don't think it's probably plausible. I'm going to try and move my men through Australia, through the Dutch East Indies, and go there eventually. Nothing really much else is going on here in the Americas. Oh, we're starting to push here in the east. They've accepted our non-aggression pact. Oh wow, we've actually managed to retake territory here in Bulgaria. Continue with lobbying support. Oh, here we go. This might be it. Is that a Brazilian flag? It is too. Push this around that. Oh, the last thing I need is the Brazilians to go communist. And they are too. Oh, well, at least we've got sort of a united front down here. It's only probably natural that they sort of went down that path due to the amount of democratic pressure in the north. Man, we've really been struggling here. The Russians just... The amount of soldiers they've had is just crazy. Oh, there's even a fair few up here. Oh no, the fall of Manlilia. That was the capital of the Philippines gone. Oh shit indeed. Okay guys, still continuing our war on the Eastern Front. Now we have actually managed to bring back Bulgaria, and also we've surrounded a hell of a lot of Russian divisions here. So I'm going to push through and try and finish them off and continue our way eastward to Moscow. Further in the south, there has been some developments. Unfortunately for us, Turkey has become fascist and joined the Great East Asian Cooperation Sphere that we have to join that. Also, down in the south here, in Iraq, the People's State have joined the French Entente Alliance. But fortunately enough for me, with these two other factions flipping to other factions, I guess, yeah, India has made the decision to come over to us. So they're actually fighting Japanese forces up in the north, which is fantastic. I've made the decision to hold my troops in the Philippines until we're ready to go to war against the Japanese. Unfortunately, in the south, Papua New Guinea and Indonesia here, the Dutch East Indies have capitulated, and it does look like the French more than likely are going to lose here as well. So we're still continuing our war with the Russians, and we should be able to surround and kill a hell of a lot in the south here, now that we have Bulgaria back. Now, an interesting thing to note as well, we're more than likely going to have to go back down at war, probably against the Turks. So we're going to have to push south and tank Istanbul, Constantinople. So I want to try and surround and get rid of these guys here, push out their supplies, and finish them off. But at the moment, guys, it's just absolutely crazy the amount of men we've lost. The Soviets have lost 3.1, we've lost 3.8, we've lost 5.5 total, 5.7, so it's mostly due to other factions joining in here now. Hungary's lost 220k, the Philippines have lost 160, Finland's lost 220, the Australians have lost heaps compared to, like, comparing their nations. Look at this, 520, that's how much the Australians lost, 520k. Canada's quite up there as well, but at the moment we're still 14% in favour of the defenders. But if we can surround and get rid of these, it's crazy that, like, Portugal, whoa, god man, the stuttering when you get to this stage of the campaign is just a bit crazy. Portugal are sending volunteers to them, so that's not good. But if we can surround and get rid of these guys in the south, we're going to be able to push, and we're going to be able to push against Turkey now. Looks like we're about to surround the last of the Soviets and push them out here in Bulgaria, and then we'll push straight for Moscow itself. We're about to surround and kill 30 divisions or so, I would say, in here. Alright, continue on where we can. And we got them. Good. So now these divisions can be relocated further in the south when we sort of go towards the Caucasus and whatnot. Okay, we've pushed in the south here now. We've managed to take Istanbul and the crossing. We're just trying to take Azamat. Azimit. Azamat is Borat's friend. Azamat, what are you doing? Right, we're slowly pushing to Russia here now. They've managed to still have a little bit of resistance at the back, but we're pushing for Moscow itself. Once Moscow falls, the rest of Russia will be inevitably conquered. We've pushed up here further towards the Crimea as well. We're pushing centrally a lot more as well, and we're about to take Moscow for the first time. There we go. There's still a large military presence in there, so what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to unassign you and hold you here. And we'll try and unassign you as well and hold you here as well. I really want to try and hold this front border territory now that we have Moscow still continuing to push in the north where we can. The fall of Moscow. After a series of pitched battles, Allied forces have occupied Moscow, the capital of the Soviet Union. The city has suffered extensive damage and fires are still raging on both sides. Despite the heavy bombing of the Kremlin, it is reasonably intact. A great victory for the Allied forces. So we're currently helping out our Australian comrades in the south, invading the Indians. There's a lot of Turks. There's a lot of stuff going down here towards India. I guess I have India on the mind. Yeah, Iran's still holding out quite strong. There still seems to be skirmishes in the north. We did have a small incursion into the Philippines, but we've managed to throw that back. But everything is coming up great for the States. We should be able to finish this in 1944 against the Soviets. Okay guys, welcome back. I've skipped a little bit ahead simply because we are starting to take the majority of southern Turkey here now. Most of their forces are fleeing around the back. We've also taken the Crimea and we're pushing into the Caucasus here now, where we've currently controlled Moscow for some years now, but there is still Soviet resistance. They are close to capitulating here, but we need to push for the Ural mountain range if we want to get them done by this year as well. But Turkey is really falling apart here now. We're pushing against the last of them. I don't know why this is going to Spain. I think that's crazy that it's going towards them. But we're still continuing against the Turks here now. They're incredibly on the back foot. They're currently fighting on two fronts, with of course the French Entente in the south and us absolutely hammering and pushing from the west. Once we get that and take Trebizond, we're going to be able to push through the Caucasus and continue to bring democracy to the world. At this point now, with Moscow falling and most of the Soviet units surrounded and conquered, that's what really got them. It was this Bulgarian push that they got in, and we surrounded and managed to kill most of them in the south. The centers managed to fall now, but we're at the point where we're just sort of gobbling up Soviet territory. Now that we have Moscow under our control, it's just going to take a matter of time before we get like Penza, Gorky. We've already got Stalingrad here as well. We just need to keep and hold and take a couple more of these territories, and then that's it. The Soviet Union would have capitulated. And we're still keeping an eye on Brazil for now. They're still very much communist, so hopefully they don't either join, of course, the French or the Comintern. Oh, looks like they've invaded in the south here, the Japanese. They tend to do that. They invaded not too long ago. I'm trying to hold out where we can. That's the second time they've come in here. Just try and throw them back where they can. They haven't managed to take any really sort of crucial naval ports, but the Japanese have been a pain in my ass in this series. Well, that's it. She's all over, Red Rover. The Soviet Union and Comintern have capitulated. Stalin is no more. How fantastic is that, guys? So what I'm going to do here now is give the entirety of the war score for myself. That was a hell of a fight. It was just countries joining in at the last minute, making things so much more complicated. Okay, so now with the Soviet Union lost, we've lost like 4 million United States lives, which is just crazy. More a bit closer to 3.5. They lost about that as well. It's just numerically, like we were so evenly matched on this Eastern Front. There was very little wiggle room whatsoever. Okay, so we've got a couple of options here. Mongolia, for example. I'm more than happy to puppet the Mongolian state and put in a supervised government. So we've got Iran here as well. I'm tempted to supervise the state as well. Obviously, our system is founded upon Greek democracy, so let's bring back the Hellenic League. So let's do that as well. Now, talking about the Soviet Union, there's a couple of options we can do here. I think making border states within Russia itself. And can we somehow puppet Russia itself as well? Just for my own curiosity. Yeah, bringing back... Because the thing is, Russia is a proud and noble empire. Maybe bringing them back as our allies might be a good idea. Okay, so we've got a couple of factions we can satellite here. I think like Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. I think I'll either leave them under my control. Like Armenia, Azerbaijan, I'm quite tempted to take that for myself because I really want these oil reserves here. So I'm going to puppet them. But the likes of Belarus in the west, Ukraine, Romania can be puppeted. So we'll puppet that where we can. And then I'll try and take the rest for myself. So get the Crimea, get these crucial territories down here in the south under my control and own that, like create a buffer zone where we can. Yeah, and we'll take that for the states. I can increase Finland back to what it was as well, and I might even like bring back the Ukraine a bit more as well. So let's give the Ukrainians a bit more of the sort of core territory here. We'll give them like that. We'll give like Belarus a massive chunk as well. Yeah, give Belarus like that. Okay, we'll try and restore Finland as well. Their former country. I don't want to give them like Leningrad or something, but there's no real reason why like the Norwegians up here in the north could really autonomously sort of rule over this region. So we'll give that lot to Finland. Okay, I guess we'll give Moscow, Leningrad, and most of these core states to myself. And then the peoples past the sort of Ural mountain range, what I'll do is I'll sort of puppet a Russian-styled government further at the back. So something like this will go to me. This will be controlled by the United States. And then this entire back territory here, what I would like to do is supervise the state. So United States sets up a government in the Soviet Union, turning it into a puppet. That's what I want to do for the rest, and especially over here in the east. So let's end it there and continue. Okay, let's end and allow everything to calculate. And there we go, the Treaty of Ufa, I guess. So that's it. She's all over, Red Rover. We've won. And look at the Commonwealth of Nations. Oh my god. So pushing down to our border territories here now. We've managed to beat the Russians here today, and the only two major factions left are the Great East Asian Corporation Sphere and, of course, the Communist French. So, after that... Oh, Romania didn't get liberated. So, the Russian Federation is now a democratic government of myself. I've also managed to take these core territories here in the Caucasus for myself, just for the oil. We've got the Republic of Ukraine back as well, controlling some of the buffer zones. We've also got Belarus here as well, and now Finland is a massive bulking country in the north. And then further back towards sort of the Ural mountain ranges, we have the Russian government and their sort of centralized zone here. So as you can see now, it's very much going to be west versus east. So we do need to deal with the Japanese threat, and to do so, all we need to do is take out Japan. And we'll either do that in the next episode. I've still got to deal with the French as well. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you'd like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Highly recommend Twitter. Every single time I post a video, a tweet goes out. It's much more reliable than the YouTube sub box. These days, to get all the notifications for the channel, you have to click the bell, of course, to join the notifications squad. I do enjoy reading those comments. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.